I'm excited at Crowd Media. We're really at the intersection of the growth of e-commerce, the changing nature of influencer marketing, and Crowd over the last 10 years has created and commercialized its AI-based Q&A, question answer technology, which in our view is going to power the next level of conversational commerce across e-commerce websites and influencers, digital influencers. And that's why I'm excited at Crowd Media.
Crowd Media is evolving from a mobile performance company to a global media tech company owning and commercializing its technology. A centerpiece of its recent revamp has been the creation of three broad divisions of direct-to-consumer, Insuretech, Fintech, and what Crowd Media's seniors management calls talking head conversational commerce. CEO Domenic Carosa joins me to discuss more. Welcome to TCN TV.
Thanks for having me again, Lelda.
Now, Dom, over a year ago now, Crowd Media started a turnaround strategy aimed at fixing its product and service offering, organisational structure and financials. Can you outline what the progress report is on this wide-ranging initiative?
Yeah, we've certainly gone through a turnaround over the last 12 to 18 months. It started just over 12 months ago, where a group out of Europe led by Stephen Shapira, who was the ex-founder of Becca, which he sold for quite a tidy sum of money. He and a group of European investors, we call them the European Consortium, really identified some gold nuggets within Crowd Media, took a strategic stake, joined the board, and the turnaround story began.
FY20 saw it evolve from being the company from being a mobile messaging company to a media tech company owning and commercializing technology. What motivated this change of focus?
Yeah, good question. One of the key things that Stephen and his group identified at Crowd, and we kind of already saw it, but it was good that they actually saw it as well, was the Q&A, our question answer technology that we have been building and commercializing for the last 10 years. And maybe just to take a step back and paint the picture, we know that millennials now are spending all of their time on their mobile phones. We know that influencer marketing is changing and e-commerce is only going to continue growing. And moving forward, we believe that conversational commerce, that is being able to have a one-to-one conversation, whether it's with an influencer or whether it's with someone on a website, a customer service person on a website, and then being able to effectively build a relationship, a digital relationship, and then after that transact. And so our view is conversational commerce is the next evolution of e-commerce, because e-commerce today is quite a flat experience. And hence, using our AI-focused Q&A tech, we're able to build, and in fact, we launched a beta 12 months ahead of schedule, which is actually available for review on the md.eu, mdcomplete.eu website.
Okay, Dom, now your last AGM highlighted the progress made in the company's three broad divisions of direct-to-consumer, Insuretech, Fintech, and what you call a talking head conversational commerce. What's most compelling about each of these divisions?
Yeah, certainly. So just over 12 months ago, we outlined a new strategy using the McKinsey Horizon model. Horizon 1 was moving into effectively direct-to-consumer. And we already have almost half a dozen brands. We're using influencers in order to promote those brands within Europe. And that was our 2020 strategy. Our 2021 strategy is to launch Insuretech and Fintech brands into the European marketplace. I can't say much more other than to say, watch this space. And then thirdly, our Horizon 3 strategy, which was 2021, was the talking head, was the conversational commerce. And we've actually brought that forward because influencer marketing is actually changing faster than we anticipated. E-commerce, in fact, has grown, and particularly through the COVID era, has grown much, much faster, and people now are much more comfortable with buying online. And so our view was bring that forward. Even though it's in beta, it basically showcases the underlying technology, the ability to have a conversation with basically a digital human on the other end of your phone or your laptop, and being able to actually have a response that is meaningful and valuable, and ultimately leading to a commercial conversation. And in fact, Emma, who's the first beta that we launched, we only just launched her recently. She's actually already started making sales. And this is all happening behind the scenes. And, she's basically there 24/7, satisfying customer requests, doing her best, within the confines of the beta, and actually making sales. And that for me is absolutely exciting.
Absolutely. Well done, Emma. Exploring on those launches, Crowd Media recently also announced the launch of a beta version of the conversational commerce talking head, as you mentioned, as well as the signing of 2 strategic partnerships. What's the significance of these developments?
We recognise that we have a very important piece of the technology, that is the Q&A tech that we've been building and commercialising over the last 10 years. But we also realise that we don't have all the answers, and hence teaming up with a number of other groups. And just one of the examples, we announced a joint venture with a group out of Israel called Zoe. In fact, the group out of Israel created one of the world's first digital influencers. So it's a digital influencer. And Zoe, in fact, that's her name. She's got about 40,000 followers on Instagram and other social media channels. And so we teamed up with them to effectively create a platform that will allow us to roll out talking heads in a much more accelerated way. Because today, if you want to launch a talking head, it's 4, 6, up to 8 weeks to actually create one. And that's not very scalable from where we sit. And hence teaming up with the Israeli company in a joint venture that will own 50/50 of. The objective there is to create a platform that will allow us to effectively launch a talking head a day. And we've just launched that joint venture, and we've just started working on the proof of concept for that joint venture, and we'll obviously announce further details to the market in due course.
So Dom, Crowd is now busy creating core Q&A technology and conversational commerce capability. Who are the potential buyers of this proprietary technology?
In the first instance, as they say in the tech world, and I'm putting my nerdy hat on, there's a little saying, you eat your own dog food. And what that basically means, it doesn't sound that good, but basically what it means is, if you're building technology that you want to effectively others to buy and others to use, the best person to actually start using it as a starting point is ourselves. And so we've just started beta testing in our own environment, gathering data. In fact, I had some feedback from shareholders, why go in beta and why get it out there when it's not perfect? And we know it's not perfect. That's the whole concept of a beta. But once again, putting my techie nerd hat on, that's the only way for us to gather data, for us to learn. And it's quite an iterative process in terms of technology development. And so, we will be our first customer. And in fact, as I mentioned, Emma's already started making sales for the MD Complete website. However, the e-commerce offerings from Crowd are actually quite limited when you really look at the world of e-commerce. And we really see the Emma type talking head, obviously she won't be called Emma on other websites, being able to have Emma or Emma lookalike Emmas on thousands and if not millions of e-commerce websites all around the world. And that's just one vertical. Then you look at the whole influencer space, and we know that influencers are really the new form of entertainment, the new form of effectively commercialization for e-commerce for the millennial market, because they're spending all their time on their mobile phone and online and not watching television, as we know. And so that's a whole other vertical. So right now, the opportunities are actually endless. And the issue is, where do we actually start? We've already been contacted by a number of brands wanting to use the technology. But what we've just said is just hold on. We still have some work. As I said, we released this 12 months ahead of schedule. So we just need to get a few more of the building blocks right, because it is still in beta. And I think later on 2021, we'll see third parties starting to utilize the technology that we've created and we're currently using ourselves.
Finally, Dom, in mid-November, Crowd undertook a $4 million capital raising priced at 5 Australian cents a share, with some of its proceeds subsequently directed towards the repayment of around a €1 million loan. Where will the rest of this recent capital raising be directed, and what growth dividends are expected from it?
So first and foremost, we raised the money in order to be able to fuel our Crowd Direct division, as well as to continue with the development and the R&D within our Fintech and Insuretech division, and obviously the talking head. At the same time, we announced to the marketplace or to the ASX, I should say, that we have paid off our billfront debt, which is about 1.7 million Aussie, about €1 million. We finally have the debt monkey off our back, as they say. And I think that's a very, very important milestone for the company, because it now really frees up our balance sheet and allows us to focus on building the business as opposed to having to manage that debt. And I'm very thankful with some of the family offices and some of the institutional investors that came on board who are supporting us through the next phase of growth.
Well, Dom, thank you for the update. We'll certainly be watching not only Crowd Media, but Emma and Zoe's developments as well.
Thanks for having me again. Thanks, Lilda.
And thank you for watching. Now, if you like what you see, please be sure to like and share the video, or drop us a comment. Tell us who you would like to see next and what you would like me to ask them. Or if you're an investor, send us an email so we can keep you in the loop with the latest ideas to empower.